Good, happy Saturday morning. Is Saturday, August 6th, 2022. I'm Riley King, and welcome to this Saturday morning edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. We have a lot of news to get to this Saturday morning, so let's get started right now. First up, we're going to begin with the weather. Let's take a look at your weather. Weather right now is sunny, 74 degrees. Feels like 74 degrees. Thunderstorms possible after 1 p.m. today. And there is a heat advisory until 8 p.m. Sunday. And with a full weather forecast, let's go to meteorologists Matt, and he is saying heat advisory in effect for central and southern New Hampshire. Let's go to that full weather forecast from meteorologist Matt.
Bigger, better, legendary. Alpine Adventures is New England's zip line and outdoor adventure destination. We know fun, and we do it differently. Pick your adventure or do them all. Alpine Adventures. Get out of your element at alpinezipline.com.
Good Saturday morning. I'm Stormwatch 9 meteorologist Matt Honig. We're tracking impact weather for you both today and tomorrow because of the heat, humidity, and the chance for some pop-up thunderstorms later on today. If you've been outside the past couple of days, you know the drill. It's going to continue yet again for our Saturday with temperatures up near 90. Factor in the humidity, the heat index. Those feels-like temperatures will climb into the mid and upper 90s yet again. So this could be some potentially dangerous heat for those of you who may have to work outdoors today or at least spend prolonged amounts of time outdoors. And yes, once again, there is the chance for some pop-up thunderstorms, much like we saw yesterday. For areas south of the White Mountains, there is a heat advisory in effect through this afternoon, and yet again tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. Actual air temperatures today should warm to near 90 through the Merrimack Valley, upper 80s elsewhere. But again, with the humidity, it will feel more like the mid to upper 90s. If you're looking for some immediate relief, you might want to head to the beach this afternoon. A developing sea breeze will keep places like Rye, Hampton, and Portsmouth in the lower 80s. Now, there is the chance for some thunderstorms later on today. That chance is greatest in central and southern parts of New Hampshire. And it looks like we're going to stay quite hot here over the next several days. Take a look at the temperature trend here. We were near 90 yesterday. We'll be near 90 again today and tomorrow. In fact, some low 90s are possible as we head into your Sunday, especially along the coastline. I think that's where temperatures could turn quite toasty to finish off the weekend. Let's take a look at your hour-by-hour forecast today. We'll start with some hazy, hot weather through about midday. And notice some of these green blobs developing. That's some of those scattered showers and thunderstorms moving through this afternoon. Now, much like yesterday, not every town is going to see a shower or thunderstorm, but those that do could expect briefly heavy downpours and perhaps some locally gusty winds as well. As the sun sets this evening, the threat of thunderstorms will start to diminish. We'll do it all over again tomorrow. It starts very muggy on Sunday morning. Temperatures quickly warm through the 70s and 80s. We're heading for the upper 80s.
Okay, and there you go on that weather forecast. Thank you, Matt Horning, for that. And now, let's get to your news. First up, Attorney General's office investigating suspicious death in Nashua. Let's take a listen to that video from WNUR News 9.
You feeling it now? Let's go! Monica and Steve, police and the Attorney General's office investigating another suspicious death tonight in the city. Very limited information available at this time, but we do know at this point that the person dead in this case is an adult woman. I want to show you the active police investigation happening behind me here. Several police cars still on scene at this time. Officers in the area still investigating at this point. We want to show you some video from earlier tonight on Kinsley Street. Several police cars and officers in this area. This was taken around 7:30 this evening. The Attorney General's office says this is unrelated to the other shooting investigation that happened at the gas station in Nashua earlier today. But the Attorney General's office says although it's early in this investigation, they hope to learn more in the coming days.
Again, it's very early in the investigation. We're still trying to confirm the adult female's identity, still trying to find evidence in terms of eyewitnesses who may have some information as to what led to the circumstances of her death. It's all very preliminary at this time, and at this point, again, it still is just a suspicious investigation.
So this investigation is still very active at this hour. The AG's office says that autopsy is expected to be completed tomorrow. At that point, they hope to determine the cause of death and identify the woman in this case. At that point, they'll also notify the family.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Nashua Police and the Attorney General announced arrest in connection with deadly shooting. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
At 11, the arrest in connection with a deadly shooting at a Nashua gas station this morning. Tonight, we are also learning the identity of the man who was killed. The Attorney General's office says 19-year-old Alexander Wheeler of Nashua is charged with second-degree murder in the killing of 53-year-old Lee Nodig. Police say they were called to the Sunoco on Amherst Street around 11:30 this morning, and they found Nodig on the ground outside the station. They attempted CPR but couldn't save him. Wheeler will be arraigned on Monday. Police have not said anything about a possible motive.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Crews working to clear roads and restore power in Hollis following storms. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
The good news here is Hollis police tell us no injuries were reported in this afternoon's storms.
I've never seen anything like this.
Roadblocks and bucket trucks, a common sight in Hollis Friday after powerful thunderstorms ripped through the area, causing heavy damage around Silver Lake State Park.
It was thundering like normal, but then the wind picked up and I could not see anything outside my window.
There's got to be over 20 trees down. It looked like they just got snapped like toothpicks.
Kevin Walker lives on Apple Lane, a road completely impassable Friday evening due to debris.
We had probably 4 or 5 trees fall around our house. A couple of them fell on it, and one of them went through our son's room. There's a sizable hole you could pretty much fit a human body through. So, yeah, a lot of damage. Pretty crazy.
Luckily, he and his family are all okay, but his home isn't the only one in the neighborhood that was damaged.
After the storm died down, I went upstairs, looked outside my window, and a tree fell right on our house. Thankfully, nothing broke, no windows or anything.
About a quarter mile away, this pickup truck was crushed by a fallen tree. Luckily, Hollis police say the driver was not injured.
God bless the guys that have to clean it up, because that's going to be a big project for them.
Many residents in the area are without power and expect to be for at least a few days.
My car's down at the bottom of the hill. Right now, we're taking the cooler down to fill it with some ice and hopefully keep the goods in our refrigerator okay for the weekend. This sort of damage we've never seen before, and we've always lived in relatively wooded areas.
And checking in with Eversource, they tell us there are about 700 homes here in the Hollis area that are still without power. Their crews will be working throughout the night to get those customers back online. For now, live in Hollis, Scott Cook, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. U.S. economy adds 528,000 jobs, reducing recession fears. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC News.
Major news about the U.S. economy, inflation, and American jobs. The Labor Department today reporting a massive surge in hiring. 528,000 jobs added in July, more than double the expected number. Unemployment falling to 3.5%, back to pre-pandemic levels. And President Biden on the verge of what could be a huge legislative victory for his economic agenda. Here's ABC's senior White House correspondent, Mary Bruce.
Tonight, a massive and surprising surge in hiring. The blockbuster jobs report smashing expectations, suggesting the economy may dodge a recession. The economy adding 528,000 jobs in July, doubling what Wall Street expected. The U.S. has now regained all of the jobs lost during the pandemic.
It would be very unusual to have a recession where we're adding hundreds of thousands of jobs on a monthly basis.
While the report shows a robust labor market, inflation is still at a 40-year high, despite moves by the Federal Reserve putting added pressure on what it will do next. In D.C., Rahama Wright, who owns a small beauty product business, struggled during the pandemic. Now she's finally hiring again.
Since COVID happened, July was actually the first time I could bring on a full-time person.
At the White House, President Biden today taking a victory lap.
Today, there are more people working in America than before the pandemic began. In fact, there are more people working in America than any point in American history.
The president also celebrating more good news for his administration as Democrats tonight appear to have the votes to pass a key part of his agenda, his climate, health, and tax plan. Overnight, a major breakthrough. Arizona Senator Kyrsten Sinema, the last Democratic holdout, announcing she's ready to move forward after party leaders agreed to scale back some of their tax proposals. The bill would be the largest investment in fighting climate change in U.S. history, would help lower healthcare premiums and prescription drug costs, and would pay for it by raising taxes on big corporations and the wealthiest Americans. The president says the bill will bring down inflation and save Americans money, but Republicans dispute that.
This is a big tax increase on job creators in this country that isn't going to do anything to address the inflation crisis in this country.
The Senate is staying in town through the weekend. They're expected to start voting on this tomorrow. Republicans, though, are vowing to drag this out. But Democrats are confident they will have the votes to get this done. And the president is eager to sign this with just 95 days to the midterms. The president is hoping Americans will actually feel the economic impacts of this legislation before heading to the polls. Whit.
All right, Mary, thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Thank you for watching this morning edition of the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great day, everyone. And I'll see you back here later on today for another newscast. Goodbye.